There you go. Now you're good. Oh, Mark.
The minutes from last month.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
I
Anyone opposed?
No.
Measure. How much money we got? How much money we get rid of? What are we doing with our money?
Do we want to do public comment?
Let's finish this first.
Oh,
and then
all right.
I'll go back to that.
So current balance is $145,513.69. And let's see, so we didn't meet last month, so all that was cleared from August through September is the Bonnie Lucille, their portion of their sub-grant. Also our TIFA summer, just hit the account. And then check for the Bonnie Lucille match on Maine sub-grant. Also Boyd Landscaping to get them caught up. Umbrellas for outdoor seating. ASL, which is also part of the Bonnie Lucille sub-grant. Then service charges and interest. And then I also have the expenditures that show budget versus spend. Have that broken down, and then the category of spend by month. Any questions?
So this, the Bonnie, what is the total on that?
The total amount of the project is $26,985.40. But not to be more than $25,000 as a sub-grant loan from the DDA. And currently, we've written checks for $3,947, but she provided her portion, which is a deposit. It's up in the revenue section of $2,453.50.
$2,453.50.
Yep, that was her portion that was deposited into our account towards that 26.
That was her match.
That's her match.
Okay. She gets this all done. And then the grant money comes in, she would pay, or you pay it, and then it comes in to you.
I don't know whether the check will come to the city. It'll probably come to the city because we have that Sigma account set up, and then we'll just put it in your fund because they'll send it to us electronically.
Okay. Any other questions? Motion?
We approve the treasurer's report.
That's it. All in favor? Anyone opposed? There. Okay, we'll go back out into the crowd. We'll take on you first. Yeah, seems how
I
you.
think you're on mute for that. I'm so sorry. I
That's
did not
okay.
make the agenda. I'm Allison Cummings. I'm the Winterfest chair. I took over from Gail a couple of years ago, so I did 2020 and 2021, and this is my third Winterfest. We are doing a return of the Grinch this year. So we did 2020, we did Grinch because he stole Winterfest from Lanesburg. As everybody kind of had to stay home and we had to do some remote things, and then we also had to do some no contact. And actually we were one of the only cities that was able to put something still on in 2020. So that was pretty cool. So every year you guys give us a generous sponsorship from the DDA to the Winterfest committee to the LBCA. I'm on the board as well of the LBCA, as a couple of you know. And what we would like to use that money for is to pay for Santa and Mrs. Claus, the V2s, who graciously come and keep their fee at the same rate every year, which is really nice of them. And meet with several hundred kids during that day. And then also lighted necklaces are given out to the kids, and those cost $270. The V2s cost $500. And then additionally, we would like to use $100 for the first place prize for the home decorating contest and $50 for the second place prize of the home decorating contest. So I believe that's under your general 1,000. It's $930 that I'm actually looking for as a donation. And I would like to make sure that that's sponsored by the DDA. So that is what I'm asking.
Do you raise more money than that, or is that enough? Is that what pays for all of it?
So that's what pays for those items.
Okay.
We have a lot of things, actually, if you've never seen Winterfest or if you're not familiar with everything that goes on, we are actually doing this year. This will be the first year of a 5K, which we're sponsoring as the LBCA. We're going to have a Grinch Run 5K that's going to kick off. The reason that we selected to do that was because we thought that would be another activity that would increase tourism from people that we might not be getting. And that kicks off on Sunday, November 27th. And then Monday is the business decorating contest where all the local businesses downtown decorate. Mr. Budnick knows because he participates in that. And then we also have a home decorating contest that kicks off, and we make a map that anyone can access. They can come visit our town and they can go house to house and vote on Facebook. And we even include like the Lake Victoria Light Show in that map. So that's kind of cool. And a lot of people like that. And he also has judged our home decorating contest in the past as well. And then from there, we have the Thoughtful Tree Competition that kicks off midweek. And what that is we get 6 trees donated to us from Nash Nursery. And then 6 organizations pick a tree and they decorate it. And they compete for the best decorated tree. And then at the end of the week, all of those trees get donated to families in need, each individual person in need. And then they get dropped off on Sunday, fully decorated. We give them the tree stand and the power strip and everything, lights, everything. So that's Wednesday through Sunday. And then on Saturday, well, also, I should state, pretty much from Sunday until Sunday, we are collecting for the food bank, and we actually fill their entire food bank space, and then it carries over into the rest of the church because we raise so much. So we call that stuff the bus. So that happens all week, and there are 5 different locations that collect for the food bank, and then we have volunteers that run and pick everything up during the week to try to keep those bins free for more food. You may see them at things like Dairy Den, Sage Market. And then Saturday is the main big downtown celebration. We get all the businesses downtown on board with opening up their doors if they want to participate with something. Maybe they just have the decorations, or maybe they have hot cocoa, like Leonard's does their hot dogs and hot cocoa, and Twilligers does their chili cook-off. Twilligers this year is also going to be hosting a silent disco, which we just bought the year for that. So that's featuring the LBCA. Gail is very excited. So if anybody wants to talk about silent disco, she's going to be raving about that for the next while. So we have that. And then we also have the parade through town. This year, the Grinch, I was telling Aaron earlier, the Grinch is going to be getting arrested this year. So he was chased by the police 2 years ago, and it was a big hit, and the kids want to see him caught. So we have that. That kind of ends up usually towards the end of the night, but we also have a pancake eating contest that happens outside of Tammy's. We're gonna have trophies for that. And then on Sunday, we have the B2s back in the library and they read a story over Facebook Live to kids. So that rounds out the end. And we wrap up all of our competitions and announce the winners usually on Sunday as well. So that's kind of the gist of it, but a lot happens. It brings a lot of tourism in. It's one of the biggest events we have in this town every year. So, and the Liskies of Local Roots and Peacock Road Tree Farms, they're going to be sponsoring the horse and carriage rides this year. So that was really helpful because those came in. They're getting a lot more expensive apparently to feed horses these days. So that is something that we're doing as well. And then we'll have a Grinch mailbox. 2 years ago when we did the Grinch, we had, you could write to the Grinch and the Grinch will write you back. We had some girl send, Dina Judd did it the first year, and some girl sent her envelope of glitter that exploded when she opened it. And so she sent another one that said, open in your room, and like had it like explode with glitter back. So kids really liked mailing letters to the Grinch. And then we also have a Santa mailbox, and those get dropped off to the USPS through their Santa mailbox system. So yeah, it's a big event. There's a lot of moving pieces, but it's honestly one of the biggest events for our town and for our businesses. And we encourage, like, all throughout the week, we are constantly telling everybody of our specials. Giving Tuesday happens during that week, so the clothesline will be featured as well. And Small Business Saturday is right before that week. So following Thanksgiving, right before the day before the 5K. So we usually try to just really increase tourism. We try to increase people coming in, and we're very excited. So
I'll make a motion to donate up to 1,000, would you say 930?
9:30.
Up to 1,000.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Got your money?
Thank you. Did
Okay.
anybody have any questions about Winterfest before now?
No. When do you need money, the actual money? I mean, do you need it immediately?
Well, we don't need it immediately. We pay for a lot of this stuff just out of our amount. And then, so probably before the event would be nice. That would make Tom Nemeth feel a lot better when.
We'll write it tonight and you can pick it up.
You can pick it up at the city hall whenever you're. yeah.
Thank you. And if you have any questions, everything's going to be going out. I mean, all of our marketing is happening right now, so it's all going to be rolling out. You'll start to see posters around town, posters at the bar. You'll start to see everything on Facebook and it pushed out, and then there will be press releases coming out in the next week too. So very exciting.
Okay,
Thanks.
I think you're not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So,
Introduce yourself.
yeah, my name is Tiffany Rimbelski, and I recently purchased the building at 101 East Grand River, the Totally Toys building. And what I am planning to do there is I'm opening a small group, and I'll do solo fitness and small group fitness, Pilates and massage therapy, eventually expanding into more, hopefully. So, you know, I'm really excited about this. I feel that Langsburg has kind of needed something, you know, for people to kind of bring people together, to get together, to exercise, something, you know, healthy for a long time. So that is my plan. And I have applied for the Face Forward facade to paint the building. I did take down the signage, and, you know, now that it's just kind of update the building to make it, you know, look a little bit more historical. And there's kind of some empty spots where the signs were now. And I think it would really be favorable for Langsburg to paint the building to get it looking nicer. Back to historical significance.
Are you going to, is your contractor lined up to try to get it?
Yeah. he
Must be
can-
you've picked a color. I see.
They're all picked, yeah,
Okay.
he can start tomorrow.
Okay,
So I know we're pushing, you know, the winter weather, and I would really love to get it done before spring.
she had called me in
Okay,
regards to the building,
Okay.
and,
It's on
and,
the-
and the only reason I just said to fill this out, if she was to actually have had it painted, and had a receipt showing that it was painted, and you had seen it was painted besides, we could have maybe helped her that way, or she could have filled out this. It doesn't go until next year. She needs, what she's trying to do is get it painted before, well,
Yes,
so she was trying to like hustle through
yeah.
and try to get it done before the winter.
Where are you planning on opening?
What's that?
Are you open right now or?
No, I'm not open yet. I'm kind of going through the process of final inspections and making sure that I'm meeting all the codes and all of that. So I'm hoping mid-November that it will take just a few more weeks to
So
get everything going. And I was kind of talking about trying to get the painting started, and we were gonna go that route, but my painter got sick, and it was like either he was sick or the weather wasn't great, so it just hasn't happened yet.
But you're still you're planning on trying to get it done.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, he's ready to go. He said this past Friday, he could start, and I said, this meeting's Monday, maybe we should just, we're so close, let's wait. And he said he'll start tomorrow as long as there's approval for it.
So I don't know if everyone was on the board when we help another business in town paint. He just come to us for a loan, basically, loan money. Didn't work out so well, but this one, she had called me in regards to not waiting until February. She wanted to get it painted, and she couldn't afford to get it painted. So she was either gonna have to wait or approach us this way. So we can either run it through this, or you can discuss it any way you want. You can give her full funds, you can give her a partial fund, you can do whatever you want. I just told her to come to the meeting, introduce herself, fill this out, and then explain to you guys what she was trying to do. If she's a new business and she's trying to get open, and we can help her.
I'll make a motion to approve the base forward.
I'll second
And let's talk about what we're approving
So
it at.
so that,
Yeah.
this is be the next thing. Do you want to approve it for 75% of the 20? It's 2,600 is what the total bill is to get it done,
Correct.
correct? Okay, so do you want to pay that bill, or do you want to give her 75% of that 2,600?
75 or 70.
It's 70
I'm
on the
sorry,
form,
70.
but that's,
70.
so do we want to do 70%?
It's kind of out of the realm, but
Well, you mean even approving it's out of the realm.
correct.
Usually we wait till what, March or April?
February, and then you had to have it done by the following year, and so on and so forth. But we've
New
back,
business, yeah.
we've done it before backwards, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's just up to you how you want to try to help her.
I feel like this amount is half of what we would approve for
A full,
a full one.
correct.
So
Do we approve 70% of this and then? donate the
Well, that's
remainder?
what to make it in a legal form
Official.
or an official form, that would probably be the way to do it.
I'm not.
I mean, she's gone through the phase of already filling this out. She's ahead of the game for next year. She's just trying to get it done previous to.
I mean, how long that building's empty? Not no business there.
Oh, there ain't
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so I'll expand on it. I'll make a motion to approve the face forward with 70% and to donate the remainder. 30%.
Well, I have a question. So you said the other one didn't go so well. What were the challenges?
He came to us for a loan, which was a straight loan, not, he was gonna pay it back. And he got it painted and it never got paid back. The building got sold, his business got sold, and the next person didn't want to pay either, and so we ended up just basically donating. And it was just about the same amount, actually. It was, I think it took us a couple grand.
I would suggest we don't use the word donate, that we just say we're gonna cover the full cost.
All right.
Just because, I mean,
Yeah.
we're not really,
70% plus the 30%.
we're just gonna cover the.
Discover the
Pay the
entire
difference.
cost.
Can someone describe to me what the color, what is your color?
Isn't it? How's he got it and nobody?
Yeah, I
else?
seen
I
that.
know, he's has it. I don't
You
know.
got
Here's a
the,
full-
he's got the color.
It's a
picture
full blown
over
out picture of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
Look at him. He got the president's copy.
That's right.
Okay, thank you. That's
Gotta know people, right? I don't know, yeah. It's because I got the one that said my email needed to be updated. I got the thread.
Bribing you with the color.
With a naughty copy.
So anyway, she had come to me just because she was running out of time. And I told her the best thing to do is if you got it painted before we meet, all the better, because you could just say, hey, I got it painted, but I'm struggling to pay this bill. Can you help me? Or at least come and apply. And I couldn't speak for her, but come and introduce yourself. And I'm sure that they would help you somehow. And it's a small portion, or they need help with all of it.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I probably should have read this more carefully. But is it a complete facade repainting or is it just repainting the trim or?
With all the blue and
All of it, yeah.
whole thing.
Right now, it's, the trim is all white and the building is all kind of a light.
See the
blue.
teal color? All of that teal color is like a gray, right?
Gray.
Yeah, it's
Blue
kind of a
gray,
grayish blue.
Wedgwood,
It's
yeah.
really kind of faded and looks kind of dirty, I think. I mean,
So when
it's
it's
just-
all done, it'll be like this teal plus the white trim,
Looks like a
Looks like a cream trim.
cream trim with a,
kind of green trim.
So, yeah, and it's kind of a dark brown, trim, so I went with what, you know, how it would have been painted back in 1870, as far as 3 different colors, those are all historic colors with the Sherwin-Williams line.
Kind of seems like with today's contractor rates that you're getting a bargain. I mean, it seems like
Really?
the right, it seems like a reasonable price, honestly. I mean, I don't have
Yeah.
the sense that you're being price gouged in any way. And I'm not an expert, but it just seems
Especially
reasonable.
with 3 colors.
Yeah, I mean, to do the entire exterior of a stucco building. Kind of stucco, like, you know, that's hard to paint.
Which I think is hard to make straight lines and
It's really hard to paint.
not
So,
something I would want to.
so thank you for that. Thank you for your project.
what's your motion?
so the whole thing's 2,600, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So 18.
Are you gonna
18,
revise your
20,
motion, or do you want me to make a motion?
I think the motion is to pay for the entire project,
Basically, to pay for the entire project.
because it's less than the
Instead-
$5,000 minimum the maximum anyways.
And the reason for doing it is to beat the weather.
Yeah,
And she's a brand new business. She wants to get open.
and it's less than the 5,000, like you said, we normally pay 5,000.
Up to 5,000, yes.
So, you know. She did a good job. and-
So we're gonna pay 70% and then just pay the 70, separate that or?
Nope.
No,
just
we're gonna
the
pay
whole
the
thing.
2,600 total.
So if she comes.
And I don't
back-
think that's the first time we've ever done that.
No,
So if
that's
she
not the
comes,
first time we've gone backwards. either.
sorry to keep asking questions. If she comes back next year and says, I've overlooked these other improvements that I could do to the exterior, does she still qualify to apply?
No, we're taking
again?
care of this one and that's it. If she wants to reapply for something that she wants to do other than this project.
That's my
alone,
question.
yeah.
Is she allowed to
Absolutely.
reapply?
Yep.
Or is
You
there
can
a time
reapply.
limit, like you can only apply once every 24
No.
months or something? Okay,
No,
Thank
she
you,
can
that's all.
reapply if she wants.
just making sure.
That's not an issue.
Thank you.
And before it was totally toys, my sister had a hair salon.
Oh,
And then
really?
before that
How's your
was the
sister?
Langsford Catholic newspaper. It was the
Okay.
Langsford press office.
Good to hear that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Just like this. that's what
Yeah.
We did alone.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're supposed to get it done. So, I don't see that.
I don't see it as an issue.
Anyone else? So, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. We can, is, the best way to do this is go ahead and get whoever to finish, get it finished. And then we'll have a check for you, same as what we just told her. And you bring up your receipt
Okay,
and we'll exchange checks.
okay. So does it doesn't need to be at the next meeting
No.
next month? It can-
Nope, you don't have to wait.
No, we'll
Just-
write it tonight,
We're
but
approving
it'll
it right
be,
now.
it'll be dependent on it being complete.
Come
And
done.
you having
Yeah,
a receipt
absolutely.
Yeah, so as soon as you're
Or
done
bill.
and,
or a
and
bill.
and you have your bill,
Check.
you know, either you can pay them or whatever if you want, or you just come up, show us the bill that's paid, and then you're gonna get a check that same day. It'll be here at City Hall, and just come up, and pick it up. We'll write it out tonight.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Just to let you know, anything you do to that building and it being open, your tax dollar is gonna come to this board in a roundabout way.
Right,
So it's TIF money. So as you pay your taxes, we get a portion of that to give back to our downtown district.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Good system.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, we got another person in the back there.
Oh, I'm just here because I had already applied for the facade for the house right there and finished the siding, and turned it to see. I'm not sure if I actually have to.
Is it finished?
But I have a little bit of soffit face.
Are you
put on
Jack?
tomorrow. I'm Jack. Yeah.
Okay.
You're Jack?
Yeah.
Okay, we can, that's that whole process already done. All you have to do is have it done and have your receipts, same as this.
We have the
Oh, you have,
receipts.
okay,
Yeah,
got it.
I got it. I got
Okay.
it. Yep.
So we can do the same thing. I'll go make an inspection showing that it's done.
Okay.
And then she'll have a check up here at City Hall. She can come up and get it. All right,
Oh, we
That's-
were making a
that's all you
motion.
need.
We need to make a motion to.
Yeah, you guys have been making a motion over.
So-
Yeah, we gotta approve
Yeah.
it. It's already been approved, but we're gonna approve to pay it.
I'll make a motion.
There you go.
What are we paying? How much?
It's $5,000.
Got it.
All in favor?
Uh,
Anyone opposed? Okay, you're set.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
I gotta
Okay.
go sit over there. You guys are just handing out.
I
money.
You're on the wrong side of the-
Yeah, this is not the door.
Hey, it's all good. The house is looking good. Your building will look better. And the Christmas fest is always a
It'll
great
be fun.
deal.
Grinch will be arrested this year.
Yeah.
Chris will be
Get the
arrested.
Grinch off the
Get that
streets.
Grinch.
Yeah.
Sure. So, Dave, you don't have anything? No? He's waiting for brackets. He says a price on some brackets for the banners.
I mean, John tomorrow, prices for the.
And we're still working on getting samples for banners and.
I was up in, up to the bridge. The other side of the bridge, what's, Sault Ste. Marie, no,
St. Agnes.
St. Agnes. And drove through town there and they have exactly as we have, just banners, same exact setup. And what was kind of neat is they had military personnel on the banners, which I thought was kind of unusual. But they were pictures of people from their town who served military. So there was a military picture, either their own military picture or something of military related, and then their service dates was on the bottom. And you could read it. I was going through town, I went back up and down 2 or 3 times just to, and you could literally read how they had set it up. Pretty good. And the picture was really older and even
Mhm.
young kids who were
Do
serving.
you think those were sponsored by the families or something?
I have no idea.
Okay. It's Corona, they do the seniors.
I had brought up that we do the seniors, but didn't go over, so.
Well, I do wonder if those,
Senior,
Like high school seniors.
Oh,
but I
yeah,
don't know
okay.
if they, I mean, it seems like the family probably.
Well, we kind of thought maybe we could get like, the VFW to donate or like the Lions Club or whatever to fund them. And then the kids would have them when they were done. Like, we would hang them up that year and then they would be there.
they didn't have one on every single pup, that was
They
all,
switched it
every
in and
single
out.
yeah, they were mixed and matched. It wasn't just straight all military all through the whole town. There was probably, there had to be at least 10 that were in there on the main strip that were, and like I said, some were just kids, and then some of them were like first were out old,
Right.
yeah. Which it was kind of cool. Just to honor
And what was
those.
the alternate flags?
Oh, they had all different, they had actually 3 different kinds. Yeah.
They're a small drinking village with a fishing problem. I bought a shirt up there that said that. That's what they got up there. It's hilarious. It's so cute.
What else?
We have another match on Main that we're working on. Rosemary is the only one that has applied for this round of the match on Main. I'll let you explain the project.
Sure.
It's all in here.
Yeah, so the match on Main, this time, I don't know if they always have different themes or if it's always for the inside, but
Yeah, it
anyways.
is. It's been the same every time.
Okay, so it's all interior and the scope of it allows you to buy supplies, equipment, furniture, update the interior. It's pretty flexible for anything inside. And so what I did was I worked with my customers to see what they were interested in. I had my own ideas about some things that I needed to update because we've been open for 11 years. And then I also worked with the customers to find out what would be of interest to them. And the workstations is where they spend their whole day, very early in the morning till very late at night, 18 hours-ish at times. They are at these workstations. So what I did put in my application was electric sit-stand desks, updated lighting, power strips, cup holders, and chairs for them. And that actually is a really large chunk of my application. And then I also put into repaint the interior. A lot of it's getting scuffed up and wall scratches and stuff like that. And so repainting the whole interior. Also some replacement of bathroom faucets because they're getting rusty. Refrigerator, the front's rusting. I put that in there. And then new bedding for our beds. And flooring. Flooring, not throughout the whole place, but we do have a lot of flooring that is just worn after 11 years of, commercial use. And so I did put in for flooring and one light replacement in the entryway because I didn't buy a good light for that spot. I needed something that had more light. So that really consists of the whole project, and I'm hoping I get it. The customers are excited that they got to have input on it. They didn't care so much about the floor or the paint, but I did. I just, I need to keep it looking nice. And the other thing is the window treatment. The window treatment also for the front. The sun comes in so strong, and I honestly, what I have up there right now is like the fourth window treatment I've tried. Now I'm going to try these zebra blinds where it's like a dark patch and a light patch where you can have filtered light or just total blackout, or you can roll it all the way up. And part of my application here, I pointed out that, we have 20 foot of window front, and all of this workstation money will be visible from the road and the sidewalk. You'll be able to see that, also see that the painting is updated and the window treatments. A lot of the money that would be going into it is visible from outside the building.
And I think, the important thing is that like this place is a draw, it brings people in and they stay here. Like they stay for the weekend, they go visit our eateries and, so I think that, I feel like it's a perfect match for the Match on Main program, because I think that, it really is what we're trying to do.
What would the DDA, what would we have for in there?
So basically the DDA is the grant recipient. That's the way we've been writing these, is so it's,
We cover it and make.
nope, so basically it's just that we're kind of like the fiduciary for it.
Gotcha.
So except for the one that we just, because she didn't have the funds, like the other one that we're helping with. Like, so the plan is they're supposed to pay for their project and then get reimbursed. And it's pretty simple, like you just turn in your receipts and they write you a check. So-
we need a motion for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd like to, make sure that the DDA approves of this project.
You know,
that
they
we
didn't
move
send this
forward.
over to her and. they
To
get-
Cheryl?
Yeah.
No, actually, she retired,
Oh, okay.
but, Rosemary was able to get all this taken care of, and, I mean, basically, sometimes Grant, the business owners aren't able to complete this type of paperwork. I mean, it's hard for them to get it done. I mean, I'm sure Rosemary knows a lot of work went into
I
this.
spent a lot of hours, yes. I did
And then we
absolutely.
spend a lot of time too, so it was really helpful to have Cheryl, help with those folks that needed that.
But did someone replace her and do we need to send it to?
We do not
We
have to,
don't, okay.
no. If you're a business, and yes, I think they're working on a replacement, but there's like the next level up, the state level, small business, they're stepping in right now, because I did reach out to them. Because I had another person that might want to apply, but they need a business plan, and they would definitely have needed help getting this done, but they haven't come through with it, so. And they're free of charge, so that, it really does help us when they kind of do that interference, so I don't have to tell them, look, your application needs some work. It really comes off a lot better coming from somebody over there.
I'll
But-
make a motion.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
gonna
we
say,
can-
to be clear, Roseville Retreat is paying roughly the 3,000 portion, and I, as a business owner, am going to be paying the $25,000 portion. And then will be reimbursed
Yep.
when my project is complete.
Yep, so the reimbursement will just go, it'll just go back to her.
Right.
So,
And you still have, this is basically just going to get you in the kitty.
Just getting into the hopper.
The hopper,
Yeah,
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 okay.
but
yeah.
the state requires that either the DDA or the city be write the grant, like turn it in.
Right.
So we need information from our businesses, and honestly, so what we do is, as soon as this comes available, I start notifying people. I mean, I've notified you. I mean, most of you in this room should have got something knowing that we were doing this. And so we put it on Facebook, we notify people, we put it on our website, we follow up, we know people that need it, we call them, we're like, hey, and really it's pulling teeth to get people to apply for this, but the state is telling me, look, you guys are RC certified, we really want to get you this money, and this will be our third application, and we got funded once already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's 25,000 that goes into our downtown, and I mean, you can't, it's good money. I mean, it just really is. So,
Well, and when I watch the program, their learning program, I think a city can submit two.
correct.
And so if we had a bunch of these applications, we might have to,
Right, like the
Decide,
first time we
right,
thought
yeah.
we were gonna have 3 or 4, we ended up with only 1 that time as well. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've been trying to get Boondocks open, and I'm like, hey, this will fund putting the food back in the cupboard at Boondocks. I mean, it would fund that, like, it'll buy all your supplies to open a restaurant.
Just saw that, and I get like rolls and cheats.
that's what I put in my new bedding for, yeah.
Right.
It's 11
And
years old.
so, I mean, they're investing on the inside, And it is huge for us to get another place to eat in town. So, and,
All business, all of them.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's huge for us to open that vacant,
Oh,
restaurant.
definitely. Every
And I
single
think
one.
that, that's a big deal. And so, I know that like right now I'm working with Cinders, they're doing those apartments, and then hopefully they plan to reopen the restaurant. So, I was on a Zoom call today with somebody from the state of Michigan and somebody interested in the Klotz building. So, I mean, and all of them would be eligible for this program too. And it looks like they're gonna keep doing this. So it looks like next spring we'll have another one. So whoever you talk to, they need to know that this is, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was, you still have to put some effort in. You want
I probably spent a
$25,000.
good- Yeah, I probably spent 2 days working on it, literally. but-
$12,000 a day.
I know, that's what I thought. I thought, it's worth it. but it's not.
No, and then I
Simple.
spend the
It's
same
hard,
amount
but,
of
you know,
time
you gotta do it.
prepping our end of it and so, but it is a great program and, you know, we try to share it as much as we can, but the DDA needs to be involved to know, you know, that we want you guys deciding who gets this money if we end up coming back and forth and we can only turn into, you know.
That'd be a, yeah, good thing.
Right, and so, you know, that, I mean, I feel like it's important that you're aware of this program, that we're sharing the program, and that you're participating in knowing what's going on with it.
So my motion would be to be, to, my motion would be the fiduciary.
Yep, to submit the grant for, yep,
If you submit for the grant and you aren't awarded it, are you allowed to submit again
Yes.
next year and just keep trying?
Yep.
So like perseverance maybe pays off too.
I mean, honestly, I think the first time we didn't get funded because we just didn't have an excellent project. I mean, I think this is a great project and,
You know, the application is really complete and nicely done.
Second,
A second.
there you go, I get two.
all right.
All in favor?
Aye.
No one opposed? Go for it.
We're trying. I did my part.
Not
I just need to know if she needs anything.
No,
from
I
me.
I went through today and, entered everything I need and I think for, you know, all of this was my last piece, so it's due Friday at 5 o'clock and I'm hoping to have it turned in tomorrow, so we're
I'm
really in good
excited.
shape, so.
Sure, we're ahead of the game too.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Sometimes I'm right down to the wire in the last minute, but today I think we're good to go, so.
Make anything else?
Guys know we're having a movie, a Halloween movie at the park. Hocus Pocus will be playing this Saturday?
Friday.
This Friday. It's this week,
Yeah,
right?
this week, it's this Friday.
Yep.
I,
So,
I went to the concert,
City Bass.
just to go and watch. I didn't go there right when it started. I actually drove by an hour before it started and people were already coming there, which was pretty incredible. And then I came back an hour after it had been going and then stayed that till it was done. And it was interesting. It was very good. There was a lot of people there.
What kind of feedback you got?
I didn't really quiz anybody. I would just look.
I meant
Just
for
didn't
like
want-
what, like parking, the crowd, you know, what did you see?
A ton of people. What was kind of interesting almost was, it was not everyone who was there was absolutely watching the show.
They
You know
were
what I
just
mean?
enjoying the day.
They were, I mean, it was packed down low and up around the sidewalk. But the kids, there was a ton of kids here, and they were all playing in the grass there and down below.
Mhm.
And then there were people on the walkway that were just talking. They were listening to the music, I'm sure, but they weren't there to just see her.
Right.
And then these people up here even were there to listen, but there was a lot of communicate,
Socializing.
yes, a lot of communicate. They weren't just dead silent like you were at a concert and just concentrating on that one thing. It was kind of different. But people just, a lot of the older people I noticed got in there and got into their spots early,
Yeah.
you know, so they could get kind of situated. And then no one left. I mean, no one left until she was done. And then she had a long line of people getting autographs.
I saw the
Afterwards,
pictures that she
which
got
was pretty
autographs and
cool.
stuff.
And she was really, the other boy that was playing with her, that, I mean, they had just two guitars and that was it. And she sang and that was it. But she was good. It was good. I thought it was
She
really,
suggested she might come back next year too, and the Liskies are gonna have a different person come back as well next year. So.
it was pretty cool. And I was, the other thing I thought, I mean, I don't know a lot of people anymore around here who grew up here, but there's a lot of different faces. But I really didn't see people I knew at all.
Well, the bar like sold out of food. Like when you went the next day to the bar, you couldn't get cheese sticks or whatever because they sold out of food. I
It's a
mean,
good
they-
problem to have.
right. And, you know, I know the Dairy Den, she did the
She was,
catering.
yeah,
And we were there before the event for lunch and she was all worried about, how many people were gonna be there. I said, Wendy, if you run out of food, it's a good thing. You know what? Don't worry about it. Just run out of food then,
you
But-
bring out the next one.
But that proves that is the economic development piece that we could hone in on. Like, I mean, it brought people you don't know, even though you
It
don't
brought-
know everybody anymore. There were a lot of people
There's a ton of
Yeah.
people.
that were
faces
not
I
from
didn't-
Langsford.
Yeah, not from Langsford,
But that's the intent, right? Is to bring people in that aren't from Langsford
right.
and then get them into our businesses. But then we have the chicken and the egg situation where we can't service them all right now because we only have one restaurant, and so that's an issue.
Parking, I see it, maybe as a kind of, the thing I thought of, or one of, I thought, well, the police were up and set up kind of, and they had the ambulance up here in case something happened and so on. And then she had her food underneath
Right,
but they can just, another theory would be to block the road completely, because down there was just parked full, which was fine, everybody was walking.
right,
And that was all parked full, and the street was kind of, it was empty.
Right.
They were just parked, and that was it. They didn't clog the street and try to park, try to everybody get up in there.
Yeah.
And then it was fine. I parked across this, over at the school.
Right.
And just walked
well,
down.
and I think that as, if these things grow and we do, find ourselves needing parking. I mean, you think about when you go to MSU basketball game or whatever, you walk forever, or the football game or down even to the stadium downtown. But, with this piece of property with the school, so the intent there is to tear that down and build a parking lot. So that would be something that could be used.
That's not very far to walk. It's
Right,
one block.
and I think that if we knew we were gonna have an event like that on a Sunday, the school's not being used either. So we could use the school parking lot too. I mean, we just need to know so that we can inform people, guests that are coming into our town, where there is parking.
Right, parking signs.
Or have people that
Roosevelt,
point, to where the parking is. So we do have parking availability.
Roosevelt was full
Mhm.
at an hour before it started.
I mean, you got down that you could go to the elementary school if you had to. I mean, it's not that far of a
That
walk.
parking lot's right there.
Yeah, it's
And
not
that
even,
was pretty much full.
yeah, it's not even a quarter of a mile from the elementary school down there or there. So there is lots of parking within the vicinity and we would just have to be able to tell people it's there.
Well, the other thing you'd have to, if it became where the events were 4 times the size of that, say, you park and you bus them or whatever, you find a way to get them from
Yep,
A to
yep.
B and back out to the A. I mean, to do the same thing with the game.
Groceries
It's like,
and
you're right, you just figure it out by.
I mean, for now,
just parking.
all of our accommodations are fine, but as we grow, and that was the intent, that it would grow.
It was pretty cool. I was impressed. I liked it. It was really good. And she was good. I mean, the whole thing was good. But the weird thing was that I didn't see people there pretty much at all. But I mean, but
Well,
not
I'm
many.
sure there were a lot of people from Bath.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's
would
where
assume.
she's from,
I would assume.
so, but I'm sure she has some other bands from around the area or whatever, but that is exactly what we want, is to get people in here.
She's pretty well known.
Right,
I mean, I guess as they go.
did you know her?
I didn't. Shane told me, he said, she's on YouTube. She leads for a bunch of bigger
I didn't figure you.
country people. Yeah,
I have American Idol or something.
she's on The
Voice.
Voice.
Oh, it's
This
West, right?
season of The Voice.
Actually, she was supposed to be on again on, I think she announced there Tuesday night after the,
I think so, yeah.
but of course, she already knows if she won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she has to keep her mouth shut or whatever. I haven't watched it, so I don't know if she's still going. or not.
We'll know tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's around the
I
finale.
think it's not even anywhere. They just got started. So,
Oh,
yeah, they just started showing. And they
okay,
were doing the audition pieces first. So that's what's on YouTube. It's her like audition piece and she did pretty great on that. So,
but she's open for some,
she's toured with a few different big bands
Big
and
bands.
opened for some, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
everything that she was doing there, she basically had written a lot of it.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't doing songs.
She
from
did a
someone
few covers. She did a couple.
else. Yeah, but most of it was stuff that I wrote this on, I wrote it,
Yeah.
which was pretty impressive too.
And I mean, it's been big news because she's a local person in the area that made it onto The Voice, and then that ended up on YouTube, and it was on TV, and it was on all these things. So yeah, a bunch of people from Bath were here, but a bunch of people from Langsburg were here, and from Lansing were here. And yeah, it was a good size event. We were a little nervous, and actually it was good that it was kind of chilly, because I got a call on Friday that was like, she shared it with her 10,000 followers, and so far 982 people are showing, have marked interested on Facebook. And I was like, well, the weather's gonna be chilly, and like nobody knows necessarily where they're going, and maybe we'll have some like a little less, because I was getting panicky calls. I'm like, what do we do? And I was like, you know, we're gonna figure it out. And she's like, where can I tell people to park? Because I told her that we get a lot of parking. When we have big events, we always get last minute Facebook messages, like, where's parking? So parking signage would be really great, because, or even having it marked on Google, like parking lot.
Letting the city know would be great too.
Well, that I didn't, that's
But
not.
all
what I
these
meant.
calls you got, I'm like, nobody called us.
Oh, she said that she talked to the city before she called me, so I was like, okay.
Nobody
So-
called us.
And I was just, she's like, you do Winterfest, like, you know, like what big events are like, and I was like, yeah, this is what you're gonna kind of expect, but yeah, it was a good turnout. It was a little larger than what we get for Music in the Park, which is really great, and Music in the Park's been growing significantly too, so I think that these events are bringing, and honestly, I'm hearing in the west side of Lansing about stuff happening here in Langsburg when I go to work, so
That's good.
that's really cool. And everyone that as I've traveled this year, like I run into people that are like, oh, my friends just moved to Langsburg. And I'm like, how do you even know about that town? You know, so I think that good things are happening here for sure.
It was really good. And the thing that did work out well is the sun was not really an issue because it was kind of
Right,
overcast.
that was Sunday afternoon.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I was wondering about the rain, what was gonna happen, and see what, people that were there looked like, we're just gonna take it as it comes. Nobody had an umbrella, no one was just, and the trees weren't an issue whatsoever. People were leaning on them or standing around them, and
That worked out really,
yeah,
really
it
well.
didn't look like that. The sun did, popped out a few times, but it wasn't like smoking hot down there or nothing.
no, no.
It looked like it was just perfect.
It was great weather for that. We didn't, we've had problems in the past with either too much sun or too much cold rain or something, having to deal with the electrical or having, it get too hot. But no, it was great.
The other thing I thought was kind of neat is that, of course, nowadays you can have a speaker this big that puts out like a speaker. She just brought her own stuff there kind of, and they both had like their guitars and had two speakers basically.
Yeah.
And it was plenty of sound. She interacted with the crowd and the kids come down and danced on the concrete. Yeah. It was pretty
And I
cool.
think that's what, they said when we were building it, don't invest in a bunch of sound stuff, because they all bring their own now.
Yeah, and what she
And they
had was
want their own.
worked fine. You could hear very clear, very well. Even with the other people, like I said, that were just there chatting, not really watching her, just walking up and down, but they were all talking and there for the event, but they were there to see each other and hear her.
Yeah.
Not really watch her or see her. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, Local Roots is planning on, like I said, they told me that they were planning on like doing some other big concerts like that. So hopefully it'll be, they're doing really nice things and putting a lot of money into events and things like that to draw attraction to the city, and they just want to give back, which is really nice. So.
All right, let's get out of here. Been here almost an hour. I spent a gazillion dollars.
I don't have anything scheduled.